All right, this is the intraday traders live market analysis where we are basically going to be looking into the shorter time frames for possible directional buyers and entries in the 1 hour or 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours time frame. We might just look into the long term as a point of reference. Okay. Without wasting much of time looking into the economic calendar, which is something that we have done already in the part-time traders live analysis for yesterday, you will see that the interest rate announcement for the statements, the interest rate statement for the Australian dollar has already been made, and we saw that volatility, that volatile market reaction across Australian dollar pairs. Well, I hope you didn't trade ahead of that news. I was totally flat on all Australian dollar crosses. We are still expecting the annual budget release, which should be coming out in few hours from now. You should also be careful with all Australian dollar pairs until that news announcement is released. After that, the last high impact news announcement for today is going to come from the American dollar axis. And as intraday traders, you need to really give much attention to high impact news announcements, because these are the news events that are likely to trigger your stop loss levels if you trade ahead of them. All right, let's look into the charts and see what we have waiting for us. Let's begin with the euro against the American dollar. Well, price has been struggling around that support area that we talked about, but right now the green line to the downside has been badly damaged, and so we have to take that away. Okay, let's remove the green lines. Okay, so we're just going to keep the red lines. Okay, this was actually a fake breakout of that level of resistance, so we'll just keep it there. It is now an area. It is now an area of resistance, and this is our level of support. So price is likely to remain around this level until Friday, when we have the NFP. Price is likely to remain there. Only the NFP will be able to either break that level to the downside or bounce price back up. So we need to wait until that news announcement for us to know which direction we are going to trade. In the other hand, on Thursday, what usually happens is that we might get an early hint of the NFP direction. We might see a fake breakout, maybe a pin bar of that level. If we see that, then on the news announcement, we are going to be trading this using the news trading approach. This is a hint that price on the news announcement is likely to spike to the upside. So all we need to do is to continue to be patient and wait for the best price action. Do not force any trade. All right, let's look into the next pair. Let's see what we have in the next pair. Sorry about that. Let's see what we have in the next pair. The euro against the Canadian dollar. Well, here I don't need to waste much of your time. Price is already trading very close to the daily level of support at that level right there, the red line. You saw that in the daily time frame. This level here, okay, in the daily time frame, price is trading close to support. That means you should be extremely careful hitting on your sell button. So in the 1 hour time frame, for those of you who are familiar with the London open breakout strategy, you will see that we already have a trend, an intra-week trend, 2 down days. All right, 2 down days, and price is the opening here is around the extreme of yesterday's daily box indicator, and we can clearly see the Tokyo range. So this trend here with a lower swing highs and a lower swing lows is good for the London open breakout strategy. So we'll move into the 15 minutes time frame and mark the Tokyo range. We're just going to mark that high. Okay, let's keep it within the shorter time frames, then mark this low. All right, so based on the London Open breakout strategy, we need to wait for price to break out of that range. Okay, and obviously we are not looking for short entry. We are not looking for short entries. I repeat, we are not interested in short entries because there is a daily level of support. We don't want to trade against that level of support. We are only interested in long entries because, as you can see, there are no levels of resistance. It is a highway free of traffic. So we are going to wait to see if we can get that momentum breakout to look for our entries. The other level of resistance could be this one here. Okay, let's keep that in black. All right, so before that level of resistance, we have that room to the upside. Okay, at any rate, if price remains here, if price remains flat, trading around here without any clear breakout, well, of course, if you are in the live trading room, if you are a member of the live trading room, we will let you know whether to take a trade or not. Okay, if you are not, then you are totally on your own. Trade based on your trading strategy. All right, the Australian dollar against the Swiss franc. Here in the 1 hour time frame, I just really want to show you that that news announcement took out a very critical level. This is the line. That's a good level. The news announcement, you can see the breakout of that trend line in the 1 hour time frame. This is the focal point. Those are bounces. That trend line was broken. If we get pullbacks, okay, to retest the breakout point or the trend line, we should be looking for bounces to the downside. Here, what strategy are we looking to trade? The trend collapse strategy. Okay, but I am really not liking this. But let's see how we can get the pullback first. We will let you know in the live in the signal channel whether it is good to trade or not. But at any rate, you need to know that that key level has been broken and we need pullbacks. All right, you always need pullbacks before looking for your entries. So we'll let you know whether to trade or not. Now, the New Zealand dollar against the Canadian dollar, let's see the daily time frame. Well, in the weekend market analysis, we talked about this pair being bearish for this week. Because price is actually bouncing off that monthly level of resistance, and we advise you not to go long against that level of resistance. This pair is still bearish. I wanted to see a pullback. I wanted to see price pulling back to somewhere before I can look for my short entries. I didn't just want to trade in the middle of nowhere there. Well, it seems to keep pushing to the downside. All right, so we'll be following this in the 4 hours time frame. Let us just mark those key levels. This area that price has been respected before as support. Possibly we can use a shape tool, just highlight. Okay, just highlight that zone as an area of former support, which may now become resistance. You can see how a price has been respecting that zone. Okay, and now we've gotten the breakout. You can see the clear breakout to the downside of that level. So if we get pulled back to retest that zone, price is likely going to face heavy resistance from that point for us to go short. This is on our radar, and we'll be following this in the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so it's a nice one. Let's just keep that for today. If we get the pullback, we'll be looking for possible entries. If we don't get the pullback and price keep pushing to the downside, then I am sorry, we will not be taking any trade. All right, the Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc. This pair is still bullish. Obviously, in the daily time frame, price might be looking to hit that level of resistance. Although in the daily time frame it might be too late to go long, but in the hourly, the 1 hour time frame, if price is able to make pullbacks, okay, if price is able to make pullbacks to this level, we should be looking for our buy entry, because that's a good level of former resistance, now support. Okay, and of course we'll be looking to trade the market flow strategy, which is here we're looking to ride this trend. Okay, we're looking to ride this trend right here. It is a trend to the upside, and so if price makes that pullback to this previous level of support, we'll be looking for our buy entry. Okay, All right, next one is the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. A similar price behavior, but in the daily time frame, we have already established that this is a possible expanding triangle formation, and so price is likely going to hit that level. So the directional bias is still to the upside, for intraday traders. In the 1 hour time frame, therefore, given this trend, given this little trend that we are seeing here, with that solid breakout, if price makes pullback to that zone, we should see a bounce to the upside in the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. So this is also on our radar for today as intraday traders. All right, Australian dollar against the American dollar. Well, in the daily time frame, we had a channel that price is respecting, and it has been trading off these levels of support and resistance. Here it is attempting to push to the downside. In the 4 hour time frame, it is too clouded, it is too crowded, congestion around that area. You obviously need price to break out of that range. You don't want to trade within this congested zone. You actually do not want to do that. And finally, the American dollar against the Swiss franc. Well, for this one, I am seeing that price is likely going to come back down. Okay, for those of you looking to trade bounces off this particular level to the upside, well, it might work out for you, but to me it is still too risky. What you are likely going to have here is that little channel, and I expect the price from current level, let me just put it now here, from that area we should have price looking to the downside. This is a bit of a channel in my view. Price should find a resistance there to push again, maybe a little hesitation, and of course this channel is signaling that price is going to break to the downside. So in all, this is what we might like. Price might remain around this area until the NFP on Friday. Okay. All right, folks, that's it. There's always something to talk about, and that is why I have conducted this review. If you have questions or contributions or whatsoever, please feel absolutely free. Send them across to us, and we'll be very happy to respond to them as usual. If you if you don't see something to trade, please do not trade. Don't force trades out of your trading strategies. Trade basically, trade based on your trading strategies. Okay, we'll talk again before the market close for today. You have a profitable trading day. Bye bye.